extraordinary video. I hope you guys enjoyed my apartment tour / moving vlog. If you haven't seen that video, I will definitely be dropping the link to that down below. But I know you're here because you saw the thumbnail and you saw the title and you clearly don't know how to get your own place or get approved for an apartment. So I'm here to spit facts. So if you do not have a pen and pencil right now or your notepad on your phone, I'm gonna need you to get it out, because these facts are gonna be very beneficial to you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Tierra. And if you're coming back, welcome back. I love to have you. I love to see you. But for today, I'm gonna share my personal experiences on how I got approved for an apartment. And I'm 20, so I don't know everything in the world, but I only know what I've learned, and I'm gonna be sharing that. I've lived in 3 apartments, and I'm 20 years old, so I do know a little bit about something, you feel me? But I wanna make sure you get approved for any apartment that you apply for every single time. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let's get straight into the video. First piece of advice that I need to give you would be to have a job. Okay, boo, you need a job, you need money. So make sure you have a job. If you're a teenager, you're living with your parents, make sure you are working and you got money coming in. Second piece of advice is save your money. Make sure that you have at least $3,000 to $5,000 saved. And the reason why I say that is because I want to make sure that you will have some stability and some comfort when you are moving, because you still got to pay your deposit, first month's rent, you have to pay admin fees, you have to pay application fee, and I just want to make sure that you feel comfortable when you move in, just in case you want to treat yourself after you move in. You still have your money saved so you could pay that next month's rent and just feel comfortable. You could buy appliances. So save your money. I promise you, you don't want to move out of mama's house without having some money in your savings account, okay? So the next thing I'm gonna say is pretty much, if you do have a job, sometimes your job isn't enough. So I would recommend a second job, but only for 1 month. Don't work 2 jobs longer than you have to, okay? Just work the job long enough to get approved for an apartment. Work your job for at least 1 month, your second job, and make sure that the first job that you have, you've also been working that for 1 month, so you can accumulate at least 4 pay stubs. 4 pay stubs from each job. And the reason why I say that is because in order to get approved for an apartment, they're going to ask you for your 4 most recent pay stubs. Okay, and I say get 2 jobs is because let's say your rent's $1,600, you can provide them with 8 pay stubs, not 4, 8 pay stubs, and they will take that and they will add every single amount from each pay stub to see if it equals this specific amount. And the specific amount that they are looking for would be, here, I'm gonna give you an example. I put it in my notepad to make sure we didn't leave anything out, okay? So, for instance, let's say your rent is $1,300. $1,300 times 3. The reason why we are timesing it by 3 is because most apartment complexes want you to be able to prove that you can afford 3 times the rent. You might get lucky and they may only ask for 2.75 or they'll ask for 2.5. But most apartment complexes want you to be able to provide 3 times the rent, okay? So for instance, $1,300 times 3. So the math for that would be $3,900. So sweetie, if your 4 pay stubs or 8 do not equal $3,900, they are going to decline you so fast, sweetie. They're going to sweep your application underneath everyone else's. They're gonna keep your application fee. They'll give you back your holding fee, but they're not gonna give you back the application fee. So if your pay stubs do not equal $3,900, if the apartment that you want is $1,300, baby, you might as well keep living with your mama, because you're not gonna get approved, okay? So yeah, how they really do it is times the rent. That's how most apartment complexes approve people. They look at your income, they look at your bank statements, and they also look at your credit. And now as a teenager, we might not have credit. Okay, we might just have a bank account, which is pretty much good enough. Some people don't have credit, and that's okay, because you won't have bad credit history if you ain't got credit. So your chances of getting approved is more likely. But as a young teenager out here, make sure you are headstrong and make sure you speak up for yourself. because a lot of apartment complexes take us being young as a weakness, and they take advantage of you, and it's just not fun. I've experienced it head on, okay? So make sure you are loud and proud and you read everything, you know your rights. Like, you gotta stand up for yourself in this generation, okay? So in order to get approved for an apartment, you need a job, you need to save money, and you need to make sure that whatever amount of your rent is, you gotta times it by 3 and add your pay stubs up. For instance, I'm gonna break it down a little bit for you, a little bit more, so you can understand me, okay? Let's say, I'm not saying you make this much, but let's say you get paid $1,000 each week for your paycheck. Like I said, this is just an example. Teenagers out here, we ain't even making barely $300 a week as a teenager, okay? So I'm just giving you an example. Let's say you make $1,000 every week. So, or if you're getting paid bi-weekly, let's say you're making $1,500 every 2 weeks, okay? So I want you to, let's say you want to get a $1,600 apartment. You're gonna go ahead and do 1,600 times 3. And you know, I ain't that smart, so I'm finna use my calculator. You can get yours out too if you think my math is wrong. So you're gonna do $1,600 times 3. That's $4,800. So let's say you get your $1,000 paychecks. So 4 paychecks, right? That's $4,000. So you're clearly $800 off. So that's when that second job comes in, right? So now you have the knowledge that an apartment complex is looking at your pay stubs. So before you even attempt to apply for any apartment, you need to do this math first with your 4 most recent paychecks, okay? So for instance, the example was $1,000. If your $1,000 paychecks only equal 4,000 because it's 4, get that second job, sweetie, just for 1 month. Make sure that the job that you do get, your weekly check is good enough for you to meet this $800 requirement for your 4 checks, okay? So once you get the second job, they're gonna ask you for 8. So now you might just be able to get approved because you have more income coming in, and apartment complexes feel more comfortable renting to you because they're like, oh, okay, you work 2 jobs, you feel me? There's no way you're not gonna pay rent on time. And that's really what it is. They just don't trust that we can pay rent on time. And I'm not saying this for teenagers, I'm saying any adult. A lot of adults out here are not financially stable and they don't repay their rent on time. So the reason why that they want the times the rent is to make sure that whoever they're renting to can afford it, okay? So now you know what to do when you're getting approved, or what to do when you want to get approved for an apartment every single time. As a teenager out here, I know it's hard living with your parents sometimes and they annoy you, but sweetie, I'd rather go through that honestly than do this, okay? Rent is high. Being an adult sucks, and you still got to take into consideration, not only are you paying your rent, you have to pay your energy, you have to pay your Wi-Fi, you have to pay your, let's say you have a car, you gotta pay car insurance, you have to pay for groceries. It's hard. It's so hard. So be thankful for whatever situation that you're in and you're not paying for rent, okay? Sometimes life just gets hard to where you just wanna let go and you wanna be free, and that's fine, that's great. But make sure you know how to do it first, okay? So take my advice, make sure you save your money. Make sure that you add up those pay stubs before you apply for an apartment so you're not wasting your money and you're not wasting your time, because my time is valuable and I hope and I'm praying your time is valuable too. So how to get approved for an apartment as a teenager and a young adult is to make sure that you add up your pay stubs to make sure it equals whatever amount that you multiply, okay? Even if the apartment you're applying for is $1,200, it's just once you do that math in your head, you can kind of like based off of like what to look for. So when you're looking for an apartment, we're really just looking for what fits our budget. So if you have to try to find a studio that's $700 or $900 and that's only what you can afford, and if you did the math of $900 times 3 and it's $2,700, if you can afford that, then that's great. Just do what you can afford, okay? I don't like having my time wasted. Have I ever gotten declined for an apartment? When I was first, No, I've been approved for all my apartments, and that's because I guess I kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I knew, but I guess I was just knowledgeable that apartments are going to do the times the rent. So I just knew in my head with common sense that it would probably be the rent amount times whatever amount they're asking for. And like I said, you're young. Some people just don't know. I'm not saying this to people who already know. I'm speaking to my viewers who don't know how to do it. So if you want me to make a video on what questions to ask when you do an apartment tour, because as soon as you apply for an apartment, or even before you apply for an apartment, you're gonna wanna tour it. You wanna see what it looks like. So if you want me to make a video on what questions to ask when you're doing a tour, or what questions to ask before you apply for an apartment, just comment down below. If you want more advice videos on how to budget or how to save money, I can also teach you that. As a young adult, it's hard out here, and we're really not taught the things that we need to be an adult and pay bills. We're just taught math and science and all this stuff that we just don't care about. Okay, so if you want some real advice on how to really be grown out here and succeed, I'm your girl. So hit the subscribe button and don't be afraid to ask me. We're all family here, and I'm only gonna tell you the truth. But now you know how to get approved for an apartment. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the post notification bell, and please stay tuned for all my amazing content. I will be dropping bangers back to back this year. Okay, so you do not want to miss out on my content. Make sure that you turn the bell on so you are notified and you don't miss out. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you want any more advice videos on how to be grown, you can ask me. I'm only 20, but I know more than some 40-year-olds and 30-year-olds out here, okay? And I just want to be real with my viewers. So thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. Bye!